What's going on, people? This is Jeremiah. You're watching The Vision of Jeremiah, and I'm coming back to you with another Cinema 4D tutorial of the basic modeling structure inside Cinema 4D here. And if you've been with me with my other tutorials and videos and stuff like that, you'll know that I'm moving from Maxon Cinema 4D over to Autodesk Maya. And the reason for that, just because of the simple fact I've been working with Autodesk products since about 7th grade, and I'm actually going into architectural engineering and computer science for college and stuff like that. And we use a whole lot of Autodesk products, whether it be SolidWorks, AutoCAD, Inventor, and so forth and so on. But yeah, soon I will be giving out tutorials and everything for that. The building that we're going to basically design to get used to the tools and modeling setup within Maxon Cinema 4D can be easily applied and made within Autodesk Maya as well. I may even do a tutorial for that. It's just some basic modeling. So here we go. Essentially, we're going to make something like this just to start off with. Get out of that and do a quick render. Just a little building. And you can see over here inside my panel of my objects here that I got multiple different cubes. And the reason for that, because each cube is its own little object. And the reason why I made it like this, because I'm going to use a plugin called Throwsing to break these cubes up and throw in another object, give it some type of dynamics and physics, and when it collided with it, I need these objects to interact differently instead of being one complete object and keep adding on geometry to create something like this and have it interact kind of weird in a way. I need it just to interact, the way that I'm going for. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my clean plate. And when you open up Cinema 4D, you're inside your little startup layout. And I'm going to go to my modeling. And I may be coughing, like don't mind that. I don't know what's going on with me. And you can see down here, you get like a list of options that's not available to you at the moment. But as you model and make objects edible, they should become available to you. So we're going to start off with a cube. Alright. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because the cube is going to be pretty big. I may even make this to a 2-part tutorial. Just depending on how long it's going to actually take. I just make it I'm going to like go through this a little bit quickly so you can easily, pause, rewind, and all that good stuff. On my Y, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to 2000. On my X and Z, I'm going to switch that over to 1000. Alright. Pretty cool. Now I have this plugin called Drop the Floor. I'm going to drop that to the floor, and before I do anything, I'm going to switch over my little display mode from the second option here, the girth shading and lines, just because of the simple fact I need to see where I'm going to add in my segments, add on my cube. If I'm inside this first option, for some reason for me it's not happening. You can also switch over to hidden lines, and that'll give off that as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the second option. And inside the X and Z, I'm gonna make it a 5. Inside the Y, I'm going to make it a 10. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and model our door, windows, and our edges, and do a little bit of a extrusion. We're gonna use a knife tool, and we're gonna use the inner extrusion as well. So we're gonna go ahead and go to our edge mode here, because I need to make some room for our door. And if you press U then L on the keyboard to bring up our loop selection, if you just press U by itself, it gives off like a whole lot of lists of shortcut options that you can do there. But I'm gonna go to my little loop selection, U and L, as you can see it. And sorry that. Oh, my bad. Before we do that, just hit this button here to make it editable, so we can go ahead and start making some changes and stuff to it. I was wondering why I wasn't lighted up. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select this. I'm on a Mac, for me it's Shift. Select those. And essentially what you want to do is delete these edges and vertices, but just don't hit delete on the keyboard, because if you do, it's going to mess up the volume of the cube. I'm going to hit Command Z to get out of that. I'm going to right click, and they give me a whole different list of options and stuff like that. And you see these three little buttons. You can even break this off to its own fly out window interface, if I'm not mistaken to it. See that? You can just break it off in there. We can set it up in that area. That's pretty fun and cool. Drag that back over there, and I'm gonna hit dissolve to dissolve that, and start modeling. Let's see. I'm gonna go to my polygons mode. I call it faces. I'm used to Maya. My bad. I call it faces because it's essentially what we're gonna select right there. It's just some faces, and I'm gonna right click, go to my knife selection, and our knife attributes is set to line by default, but I need this to wrap around my whole cube, so I'm gonna switch this over to loop, and zoom in here pretty close. I'm just eyeballing this right now, but essentially all you need to do is make a complete loop around your object, pretty close to this little edge right here. Come down here to this and do the same exact thing. Right there is fine. Let me make my cut. Right there is fine. Press U, L again to grab our loop selection. Select all those. Hold Shift, select all those. And yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and see how all these options just started to, I was looking at this, my bad. Started like to be highlighted for us. I'm gonna use this screw option here. And I'm gonna left click and drag to the right. That's when it screwed it out. If you left click, drag left, it's when it screwed it inward. And as you can see, when I do that, we start to lose some segments. It doesn't look right at all. So I'm gonna Command Z out of that, and that's because of the simple fact our attributes for our screw tool is not what we're looking for. If you see our maximum angle is currently set to 89 degrees. If you switch that over to 90, you should get like a more uniform screw there. I'm gonna keep mine around. If you see my offset values over here changing, I'm gonna keep mine around 30, something like that. No problem. Alright, I'm gonna just click away from my object, and I'm gonna start selecting some faces. And the way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna select every other face around my cube. So I'm gonna select that, hold Shift. Alright. Move around a little bit. Hold Shift. And I might even stop my recording here for the tutorial around like a good 11 minutes. And then just do like a second part. Alright, and I'm going to use this screw tool again. And I'm going to left click and drag to the left this time to screw it inwards. Looking pretty cool. Alright, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my edge here. I'm going to select these two edges. Shift. Then I'm going to do that dissolve method again. It's going to give it some more area to work with. Go to my faces. Polygon mode, my bad. Polygon mode. And this time I'm going to use the extrude inner tool right here. And that's just going to basically collapse our selection of what we want to extrude. Collapse or shrink, whatever you want to call it. And even when that is highlighted, we have the option like to move around and all that good stuff, and scale it and all that. And that's essentially what we're going to do. So I'm going to go over to my scale option, and inside the Z axis, I'm going to go ahead and scale that in just a little bit more. Go back to my move. I'm going to just drag that to the bottom of our cube. Alright, then get our the screw tool, left click, drag left to screw that inwards. Looking pretty cool. Alright, go back to my edges and click on those. We're going to use that same dissolve method to clean it up a little bit more. It's pretty cool. Alright. Next what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab this little live selection tool just to make this a little bit more quicker. I'm going to switch back to my faces, polygons, my bad, polygons. And I'm going to just select all these faces on top of our cube, but not the ring selection that's like outside, like the parameters here. See how we have a ring that's surrounded from our extrusion? I don't need those. Go back to my screwed inner. I'm going to go ahead and scrape my selection down to a little bit. And use this extrude, left click, left drag to give it that little more volume, and it's looking pretty cool. Go ahead and click out of that. I'm gonna create a light right fast so I can see what I'm saying. And drag that up, drag it over here a little bit. I'm gonna switch it over to a inverse volumetric. Crank up the intensity a little bit. I'm gonna just do like a quick render preview, and it's looking halfway decent. You know, we have our windows, we have our ledges, we have our door. You know, we can always make more stuff depending on exactly what type of look that we're going for. Looking pretty cool. Alright, and go ahead and just shut off this light, make it not visible as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and stop my recording right here, and then I'm gonna come back with part 2.